Hey everybody, good news! Our tractor just turned 500. Combine, rear axle snapped. Ouch! That's different. I might be doing this a little too early, but well guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. Welcome to Hartung Family Farms. Today, it is early. It's 7 o'clock. I left before it was light out this morning because I'm gonna get up and get ripping. So we have about 3 fields to do up in Bellevue, not full fields, but I want to get all that done before noon. That way we can get 2 combines rolling and try to knock out as much corn as possible. We are down to under 250 acres, so it won't take long. I'm hoping 3 good days will get us done, but the problem is we're just gonna have to figure out where we're gonna go with corn. But right now I'm gonna check oil, let this thing warm up for 10 minutes while I go up to the farm, clock in, and make sure the def fill and everything's good.
Well, good afternoon everyone. It's about 50-55 degrees out, sun shining in beautiful Jackson County. It's been a long couple of weeks here. We've been going after that corn quite regular. Last night we were over to Andrew. We got about 4 acres left. They should have it done by now, but we quit last night about 10 o'clock or so. Anyway, today I'm heading out to the farm. My ultimate goal is to move those 32 calves so they have twice the room where my new water is over there, so they can water themselves instead of me watering them, because I got to reinforce a couple spots in that back one so they don't kind of bust out, because they're still kind of missing their mothers, which they will for every day they settle down a little bit more. Deer hunting's 2 weeks away, so 2 weeks from tomorrow. Can't wait. Deer hunting's 2 weeks away, so 2 weeks from tomorrow. Can't wait. But okay, we're gonna head out to the farm there and feed the cats. Okay, I'm back out at the farm. I got my 6 gates. So what I'm gonna do is go back on the other side of this barn here. I gotta reinforce a couple spots. I'm gonna feed the calves real quick first, reinforce that, and then I'm gonna let those calves go into that yard so they have both yards. That's where my water is at. So that's the big key to save me some time. So that's what my game plan is today. So we'll see if we can get her done.
Grid here will probably pop up. Man, doesn't even blink. Alright, we'll let this thing warm up. And I'm gonna go up to the farm. Morning, cows. There's the job I was doing yesterday. 6 shanks at a time, 15 feet wide. There's a ripping. Good morning. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 cats. Jeez, it's a lot of cats. Oh yeah, that Magnum's getting warmed up. He's smoking a little. It's a cold one now. Truck said 29 degrees right now, so a little bit of a frost. Like I said, it'll take me an hour to get up to Bellevue, which will be good, because that way get the sun a chance to warm up the ground. Alright, let's take this thing up to the farm. Make sure implements all the way lifted, which it is. Let's go ahead and head up. Because again, I kind of spoke about this in the last video when I was ripping that. Car will be right here when I was ripping that field behind us. But I'm gonna take this up to Bellevue because there's a couple fields up there we want to get ripped, especially the flat spots. Gotta put some dinosaur bones in this thing. Dinosaur bones and government juice. I like those terms. Thanks, Brian Brown. Brian's Farming Videos. Awesome. Don't you love when you grab 2 right-handed gloves? Walk of shame back to the car. Also, it's cold out. Oh, I make that walk more often than I care to admit. So we got done with the Cahill farm, that hilly farm last night. Pat brought the combine back. He's gonna do his big old service and maintenance. I actually might even be dropping the oil because I think this thing needs an oil change. Let's take a look. Yeah, he dropped the oil last night while it was still hot. So he did an oil change on that thing. So hopefully we'll get both machines rolling today and knock out 80 acres. But that'll just all depend if we can get the corn away. You guys wanna see something funny? There's my GoPro I left all night. Idiot. Now time for some government juice. Got a new drum, go and fill her up. So I got fuel and def in there, and I hit all the grease points. There's a grease on every single one of these disc bearings, and there's a grease point at every single one of these pin points. So what this is this, if you hit a rock and you're 12 inches deep, you have to have some way to relieve pressure. So spring loaded, you hit a rock, it springs backward and up, and then comes back down. But every single one of those pin points is a grease erg. So there's one here, 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 and here. So there's 5 grease ergs per shank. So I hit every single one of them. And then obviously the 6 bearings, so 36 grease ergs. Now we're ready to roll. Let's hit the road and head to Bellevue. All right, hazards and beacons on. Go ahead and hit the road, head up to Bellevue. It's probably gonna be about an hour drive. Maybe not quite, because this tractor goes 31 as opposed to all the other tractors go 23 to 26. One thing I love about a Case Magnum compared to a Deere, transmission is so snappy. I can go from 7 to 12 in a second and a half, where a Deere would go shift, 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 shift. Pain in the butt. Anyway, let's get up there, cue time lapse.
Okay, I'm back. I got everything done, I think. Now the hard part is to get one of these up into there. So that's what we're gonna do. There's the calves. There was 3 of these here. That was heavy. That's gonna weigh about 250 pounds. Now these calves, I had to put a gate right there, you can see. Come down here and I put 2 more gates and put 2 right here. Got my water. Yep, water in it, that's good. Now it's down here in the ground. Get that off. Now they'll get that with the water, so they'll be happy. So hopefully when I come out here tomorrow morning, they'll all be in here. Now we'll shut this gate. So now it should be sealed up. We'll fix that over there so we can let them in there. Okay, we're back here where we fed them. Last thing I do is I'm going to unhook these gates here, bring them out here, and bring it across here. That way they can use both yards. Now these little girls and boys are going to go right inside there. They'll have a new home for the night. Muddy mess. Come on, try this again. I think this time we'll get them. Good girls. There, now we're going to get them, I think. I'm going to head home now. They don't need me tonight. So once again, you got the Budman from beautiful Jackson County, Iowa.
I made it up to Bellevue. I'm going down the big hill, and Bellevue will be right at the bottom of the hill. So I'll be at the first field in about 5 minutes. It's a 2-acre bottom piece I'm going to do. Then I'm going to go up on top of the hill and do kind of that piece up on top. I'm ready to roll. Lower my maximum raise height. Start my auto track or guidance. So let's go ahead. There we go. Now we're ripping. Forgot to put my front wheel assist on. That dropped my slip down a lot. So what I'm finding is the bean stubble's plugging right now. I might be doing this a little too early, but it's just a 2-acre bottom piece. I probably shouldn't have started with this piece. You see all these clumps? I wonder if that's just because the frost is making the residues a little bit spongy and sticky, because it's plugging some, and I don't know, I don't like it. Oh well. Just 2-acre piece. Up on top of the hill should be better. Well, this piece is done, like I said. A little bit of plugging. I don't like that. Probably should have waited, but oh well. It's done. I think it'll be able to level off in the spring. Alright, so I'm up at Bellevue right now. It's definitely frosty. I should not have done that field first. I might have messed that up, but I think the soil finisher, what's got disc gangs in the front, I think that'll clean up, break up those clumps for next year. I'm gonna check these calves. We got some new calves in up here. One of the customers that we always take calves from, he wanted us to take his calves early, so we did. So my dad's been watching them. There's 32 of them. I just want to walk in here and just make sure they're good and not making a mess out of everything. They were just weaned last week, so a little skittish, but I think they're starting to calm down. Look at these babies. You guys are gonna grow nice and big for next year, right? Right. These are all steers. Oh yeah, here they are. Look at all these things. There you guys are. Hi guys. All right, they're about all here. Good enough for me. I'm gonna go ahead and keep ripping. Because up on top of the hill, I think the frost burnt off a little while ago. So, let me get moving. Yeah, I definitely screwed up. I should have waited on that last piece, on that junk piece, but oh well. What do you do, I guess? Live and learn. So I'm up here doing this highway piece. This piece just south of the highway, I should say. Yeah, and I'm just going to do this top part. Call it good. I'm not going to go down into there, because here's about where it's starting to fall off. Man, what a nice day out so far. Beautiful if we're up on top of the hill. There's the neighbor coming down with his flail shredder. He's gonna go down to the bottom of the hill. He's probably gonna make stock bales down there. Well, he's running a boxcar Magnum 7250. I'm running a new gen Magnum. Well, I guess not the newest, but newer. 2019 340. Doing a good job. So what I'm noticing running this thing today, it's not using near the power as I was using yesterday. So that tells me that this ground is not near as compacted as the other ground, which that makes sense because we haven't had a full-blown cattle operation up here in over 10 years. Where down below, we're down at the other farm. We've had cattle every year for the last 40 plus. Smudge, sorry about that. So yeah, that's not near as bad, but it's still good to do this ridge top just because to break up that compaction because we haven't ripped this thing ever, I don't think. So you guys might be wondering, why did I skip a big chunk there? So what I'm doing is I'm actually experimenting. I'm gonna see if there's gonna be an ROI on ripping the hilltops. So basically I left a check there and a check down here. I'm gonna rip basically 2 chunks. So they're big enough sections where I think we hopefully should be able to see if there's a yield bump at all next year for if it's gonna be basically worth the cost of fuel and the depreciation of our implement right here. So it'll be kind of interesting, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. So I just did I'm doing a little test strip. All right, I am gonna call this field done. So like I said, I left a chunk here. Oh, I got a chunk there, left about 15 passes, and then did all this stuff. So we'll kind of be interested to see if there's a yield bump at all for doing this, because it does cost a good amount of fuel. You're not doing a ton, you're doing 10, 11 acres an hour max. So it's not a cheap implement to run, but that's what, like I said, we're doing test strips. But we're for sure gonna rip the bottom ground that is compacted and whatnot, because this thing you don't want to do in the hills, because you're not tearing up a bunch of ground, but you're making deep ruts. So if you do that down a hill, water's gonna run down it. So that's why I'm only doing kind of the hilltops. So let's go ahead and head down to the next field. We're down here in the bottoms, 15 acres. Get this ripped in about an hour and a half or so. So we got 2 guys hunting. Lynn, my dad's former boss, is hunting this west bottom, and then I'm not sure who's in the east bottom. Might just be someone out checking cows. Good day to go rip. So here's my strategy. So because this tractor has a crap turning radius and my effective working implement is like 15 to 17 and a half, I can't remember what Nathan put it as. Basically what I'm doing is I'm skipping 3 rows and then working in a circle, and then skipping 3 more rows and working in a circle. So right here I just finished this block. This was pass 7. I skipped to pass 11, so that way it takes me 3 rows to turn. So I can go from 11 to 8 to 12 to 9 to 13 to 10, and I'll skip some more. So that's kind of the strategy with this. And that's what you got to do when you got a small implement. And if you didn't have GPS, you'd be much, much more inefficient. Lynn must have gave up for the morning. Hi, Lynn. He was out bow hunting out in one of our fields. That's, like I said, my dad's old boss, so he's heading back to his house. Oh wow, so it's gonna be hard for you guys to see, but if you remember my drone time lapse where I was going back and forth a couple times, right there, my drone is literally in between two trees within 10 feet and I didn't even realize it. Like, I got a warning that I was within 2 foot of an obstacle, but I didn't even realize. I thought I was high enough, but those two tall little tree branches right there, I see my drone specked right in between it. Oh, I almost lost my drone. That could have been bad. Good title for our video. Almost lost my drone. In these lighter soils right here, I actually geared up and idled back a little bit, so I'm still going the same speed, same work rate, but I actually dropped my fuel by about a half a gallon an hour. So I mean, it's not much, but it's something. So right back there is where we've been feeding cattle up every winter for the last couple winters. And you can tell, I could tell, I'll show it next time when I drive there, but there is a lot of compaction there. Because you can look right now, ground's kind of exploding out there. No, back there it was like barely moving. So that's good we're doing this. Look, so on the left side it's not exploding yet, now it is. So right here is gonna be really compacted because that's where we drive our grain carts to fill our trucks. Our trucks, they turn around on the field but they park on the road. But the grain carts will drive right here and pull that first 2 passes along this side. Gonna be really compacted. I'll show you the next time, but even this is pretty compacted. Yeah, we haven't ripped down here in a very long time, so this is duly needed. I'm really kind of excited to see the yield bump we're gonna see next year. So we're coming up on the compacted part. Just look how that's not even exploded at all. Just watch. It's gonna start doing nothing. See how that? It's not even doing anything, or it doesn't even look like it's doing anything. So I'm gonna run through that a couple different times. That is for sure, because that is really compacted. Oh yeah, it's a good feeling doing this. Really lugging her now. Really breaking up this compaction right along the road. This is exactly what this ground needed. So I'm doing every single inch of this field, mainly because this field, like I said, has not been deep ripped or really worked in a while. There's been a lot of compaction on it, so I'm doing every single inch. I'm gonna leave a spot kind of near the road for my dad to get in to feed cattle, because the cows are gonna be here over the winter. But hopefully they're not in here because it's gonna be a little rough. But like I said, this field desperately needed to be ripped. Meal wagon's here. Thanks, Mother. Well, look at that fancy unit. I'm talking about Mom's car. Bye, Mom. Thanks for dropping off food. Cameron's gonna stop and say hi and take a look at this Magnum. That's her neighbor. They just got that 9R. They just traded for it. It's a pretty nice unit. Hey, good chat with you, Cameron. It's a nice rig you guys got there. So I'm gonna head over to do my dad's field. It's actually up on top of this hill here. Just gonna do like probably 10 passes or so. There's all the mama cows just grazing. Hi, baby. You're a small one. Hi, cows. What are you guys doing? Let's go ahead and head through the pasture and get up on top of the hill. Climbing the big hill. Good 8-10 degree slope there. So I'm just about here. This is my dad's bean field. I'm just gonna rip spots up on top. There's our cows. This ground is hard up on here. Granted, I'm going up the hill, but she is working. Woo! 17 gallons an hour for fuel, 10% slip, 103% engine power, 9th gear full throttle just to get through it. Oh, I love tillage. Move, cow. Alright, I got a pass and a half left. Basically one more pass here, one there. I'm basically just doing the hilltop here. I don't want to get close to the waterways because I don't want to basically give dirt any reason to wash out here, because this is already highly erodible land. It's gonna be my last strip, then I got a half a strip right there for where I started. Yeah, and then I'll probably head to Andrew, do about 10 acres up there or so, spend an hour up there, and either head home or head to Zymitz and finish up there. I'm hoping I head to Zymitz and then we can just be done with this ripper for the year. At least that's what I'm hoping, we'll see. Hi, cow. Not your average obstacle in fields doing tillage, but hey, that's what it is. That's what this ground's good for, is having cattle, because we only have 60 acres that are tillable and 250 acres that are not. So I am all done. Let's go ahead and head to Andrew. I hate this lane to get up to the hill, top of the hill. I'm literally in 10th gear, idled back, riding the brakes, going down this hill, and I am not even pulling anything. I just got that ripper on the back. That's how steep and rough this is to get up to. It's not fun. Made it though. Hey, look, there's a tree stand. Probably my friend Daniel's. All right, let's go ahead and get out of the pasture. Sorry about that. So my mom brought me lunch, PB&J, and some Happy Joe's taco pizza casserole. Not sure what that was, but actually wasn't that bad. So go ahead and open this gate up and drive out of here.